Hey, what's up, everyone? Brad Chmielewski here, and this is episode 124 of Shatter The Vain. Just put up episode 123 with Owens. I hope you listened. I hope you watched. Awesome discussion about being an analyst, what it takes, just thoughts on the games and the community, and we didn't dive too much into the news because patch update 1.23 was coming out. So I saved it. We run it down in this episode. I didn't do a rundown episode for 122. I think I was traveling. I was out of town. But here we go. We got this double episode week for you. Hopefully you enjoy this. I got BrianGlory joining me to run through all these changes. Just talk about our thoughts on Gwen. Who's going to be strong this update? Who's going to fall? I can't wait to play Gwen. Her abilities seem so fun. Her character design, her animations, love it. Definitely going to be picking her up and playing her as much as possible. So if you're subscribed to the YouTube channel, get ready for that because there's going to be some Gwen games there. And if you're not, hit subscribe, go over to YouTube, Shatter the Vain, hit me up there. I'll be posting gameplay soon. So let's do it. Let's jump into episode 124.
Shatter the Vain, a podcast about vainglory.
This is the 124th episode of Shatter the Vain. My name is Brad Chmielewski, and this is a podcast all about vainglory. On every episode, breaking down the news, gameplay, game tips, and hopefully we can all become better players together. And on this episode, running down update 1.23 with the help of BrianGlory. Welcome.
Hey, Brad. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, it's good to have you here. You were recently on the Undersprawl, but if anyone maybe missed that, you want to give a slight introduction of yourself because you're very active in the community.
Hey, yeah, I'm Brian. I like to play Vainglory. It's a pretty awesome game.
You're in the Twitch streams quite a bit, right? You're watching a lot of people.
Oh yeah, definitely. I like to watch Twitch, learn new things, meet new people. Same with Twitter. Fun time.
Nice. Yeah. Very opinionated voice. I think you have people that love and hate you probably at the same time, right?
That's possible. I don't know.
Appreciate what you're saying, and then like, oh, why do you have to say it though?
I'm just keeping it real, I guess. I don't know.
Right. Well, it's good to have you here for update 1.23 because you were pretty active. You're pretty active in the PBE testing as well, right?
Yeah, I have been. This patch, not so much, but past definitely.
Okay, so so you're familiar with like a lot of the changes that go in and some things that happen and don't happen and kind of where we end up. So this should be good to run down this stuff
definitely.
with you. I really should have switched up the numbers because I put up episode 123 with Owens and then patch update 1.23 drops. It was just like would have been so perfect. but let's just jump into this update and run through all the changes.
Vainglory News.
So I think the most, exciting part is always the new hero, right?
Yeah.
We're always like clamoring for this new person, and Gwen got put into this update, and she looks pretty neat. I love her like ability icons. That's like I think my favorite part of her.
Yep. The cartoon.
What do you initially think of her before we go through the abilities, like just the general look and style of her so far?
Sorry. My first thought, of course, is what everyone else is saying, is like, oh my gosh, it's female Ringo. But that was before we really saw the splash art and everything. I think the splash art is great. I like her color combinations are dope. I think she's pretty cool. Looking, yeah.
Sure. Yeah, so she has a gun and she shoots people, so I think that's why I would think she's a female Ringo. But her kit is I think a little more advanced than Ringo's.
Yeah, for sure.
So let's go through her abilities and kind of talk about that a little bit. Her boomstick, that's her heroic perk. After not attacking for 1.6 seconds, Gwen's next basic attack deals additional weapon damage, and then attack speed reduces the time before this empowered attack becomes available. So she's someone like, if you're going to get probably tornado triggered on her or something like that to kind of take advantage of this heroic perk.
Definitely. It's got a great name. Boomstick.
Yeah, boomstick. Yeah, if anyone has seen Evil Dead out there, anything like that, like, yeah, it's a great name. Her A ability is called Buckshot Bonanza. So Gwen blasts enemy in a target direction, damaging all targets in a cone. Enemies hit by this ability are slowed and revealed for 2 seconds. The revealed is really nice because I hate stealth heroes.
Same. Absolutely. I'm so glad to see like there's an ability like that.
Yeah, because before we were just always having to rely on Celeste. Like, all right, I hope I got an auto attack off to reveal Taka as he runs away.
Yep. Yeah, this is very cool, Bill.
Yeah, so I think this will keep her pretty safe in lane 2, as things like Kestrel and Taka kind of sneak in. She can kind of use her buckshot, clear the minion wave, and make sure no one's there too, and check bushes too.
Yeah, definitely.
Her B ability is called Skeetle-Daddle. When activated, Gwen instantly removes negative effects from herself and blocks further effects for a short time. Additionally, she gains a temporary burst of bonus move speed. This is a free reflex block. It's actually better than a reflex block because, yeah, if you're stunned, right, it's a cleanse in effect, right?
Yeah. So she just kind of skedaddles away from all that CC.
Yeah, and you can use it to you can use it to chase people. Like, I think it's really good against someone like Samuel, who's always trying to like kite back. You can use Skeetle-Daddle and like chase him and avoid some of that damage he's trying to get onto you.
Yeah, definitely.
Then her ultimate is called Ace's High. Gwen pulls an ace from upper sleeve and flings it in a target direction. This card deals damage to anything it passes through. The ace impacts and stuns the first enemy in its path. This is I feel like this is a very basic, just stun ultimate.
Yeah, I think maybe there's some balance going on between like how strong her be capable of, not in a like offensive way, but
right.
So I feel like there's some balance between.
So because having a reflex block up all the time, that should almost be your ultimate, kind of like we saw Lyra with her Bright Bulwark. Like, that thing is equal to what Arden's Gauntlet basically is, and it's a B ability. So this is the Skeetle-Daddle, and then the Ace's High is almost just like you're gonna probably use it to like set up kills because the draw time of it, the animation on it is pretty long.
Yeah.
So you end up standing there for a little while.
Oh, speaking of the animation, some of her her walking animation and stuff like that is like, I felt like it was really deep. Into that.
I think they go into like some really nice stuff with all the new heroes. Like, you can tell the animation team is just like putting more and more little things into it just to like show off what they can do.
For sure, definitely.
Do you see, like, as far as Gwen right now, like the update drops about right after this episode comes out, do you see Gwen becoming like a meta hero? Like, Baron, although he's really strong, and I just don't think he got picked up as much as someone like Lyra or even Lance did. Do you see Gwen kind of jumping in there and being played quite a bit?
Yeah, definitely. I think she's really accessible. Like, her kit is really straightforward in a way. So I think people are just going to pick it up really. I think it's just going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, I'm excited to play her. I've been playing a little more lane lately, and like I've just been kind of falling back on people like Vox and even Kestrel, and it'd be nice to just kind of have someone that's like Ringo but a little different.
Definitely agreed there.
So get ready for Gwen. You'll have that. She's unlockable with ice for 7 days, and then afterwards with glory and ice. But then we got a few balance tweaks to the heroes this time around. Pretty small. We've been seeing Super Evil Megacorp do these smaller balance changes where just maybe there's like one or two things tweaked on like half of the heroes. Where I think it was like 3 or 4 updates ago, we were seeing like massive swings where it would drastically change the meta. I don't know if I like these little changes or the like big swinging things. It's the big things are fun because it changes the game completely.
Right.
The little things are just more manageable, I guess.
That's true. And possibly with like, if they're just doing little things, maybe that means like it's balanced pretty well, possibly. Like,
that's true, yeah.
There's not a lot that really needs to be tweaked, but
right. So we should think of it as a good sign.
and also on a learning curve, I feel like if there's less changes, you don't really have to relearn a lot as much.
Right.
So I think I'm a fan of personally the smaller tweaks.
Nice. Okay.
But I do like big changes.
Yeah, especially when they have changes like the gold miner,
Minion miners, that stuff is
minion
fun.
mine.
Yeah.
Yeah. But none of that this time. But we did get some hero balances. At the top would be Samuel, who, he's pretty strong,
Yeah.
and he's banned out in most ranked games if you have draft mode. But they lowered his A abilities, his damage, his crystal ratio just across the board a little bit. Although it scales a little better with more crystal damage, which kind of makes sense. And then his empowered damage when he's inside his drifting dark, that got reduced a little bit across the board as well. I don't know if this is enough. It may just bring him down a little bit that he's not banned all the time and he could actually be played and counterplayed now.
Yeah, I agree. I think he's still going to be a pretty popular pick if you can get him. But
yeah, it's kind of like that first change we got to Lyra where she got taken down just a little bit, but she was still very popular.
yeah,
Next up would be Taka, who's probably the other hero that's banned and either picked first if you can get him, either going weapon or crystal. The biggest thing they changed on him was they fixed a bug, which Taka has the most bugs in the game, which is pretty funny. But the Kaku, the healing was reduced just a little bit. So for everyone playing Crystal Taka, you would heal quite a bit from your crystal ratios. But the energy cost is up from that as well. And the duration is down from 4 seconds across the board to what's this? It starts at 3 seconds and then goes up from there. Go ahead.
I feel like this is a pretty heavy change. Energy cost, like, I don't know. I feel like energy, when I play Taka, maybe I play him totally awful, but I feel like I'm always running out of energy. So this is gonna affect my horrible Taka play.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I agree. Like Taka, especially Crystal Takas, who have a hard time clearing the jungle anyway, and then you're getting your healing camps to get more energy, and then you're just having to use it a lot faster. So, but the amount that Kaku was up, it was kind of ridiculous, and how often you could use it was just. I think it was starting to get out of hand.
Yeah.
So hopefully this maybe gets Taka off the ban list and people don't play him as much. But I don't know. He's still like such a good solo queue pick because he's just like it's chaos when he's picked against an uncoordinated team. Then there's a Fortress. Fortress was kind of like a sleeper this last update at 1.22. I had some really good games with them.
Me too.
Yeah.
I really like a lot.
Your team would be mad when you picked them.
Oh yeah. But then like once you're like living in your other jungle, then it's like they're so happy because
right. So we had a couple small tweaks. It's his Truth of the Tooth now applies now additionally deals basic attack damage. So that's good for like the aftershock kind of things, right?
Yep.
And then the damage was down a little bit, especially from level 1 where it was at 60 and now it's at 0.
Yeah. That might be a little tough early game, but
Right, which is kind of sad for Fortress because he already had a rough early game because he has like hardly any health.
right, yeah.
If you got jumped on by like a Lance or Finn, like you were in big trouble. So I feel like a Fortress is probably not going to be picked up very much again this update. If you're playing him, like good luck. You're probably having some good success, but probably also having some issues. Yeah.
Works well in my neighborhood, so I might stick to it.
Nice. Adagio, he just had his heal ratio up from 8% to 10%, which I don't think was needed. He's pretty strong and annoying, but
Yeah.
I think this maybe helps him in the roam position a little more.
Yeah, it could be.
Yeah. Saw had one minor tweak where he just will no longer do execute damage to the Vein Crystal, which I don't know if there's that many games where you're down to the wire with Saw using his mag cannon to execute the Vein Crystal. It probably came up, but yeah, this is probably just, you're not going to see any more or less of Saw because of this. Then there was Sky, who the forward barrage that does a lot of damage. Crystal damage early game. It was brought down just a little bit. The lock on bonus crystal ratio is down from 15% to 10%. I still think Sky is probably pretty strong this update, and you probably want to stick with her. Then there was a Kestrel who seemed to just wreck people lately on the fold, and if she got rolling and could auto attack you with a breaking point, you were in big trouble. So they kind of buffed Kestrel here a little bit. One was they fixed a bug where the attack delay was additionally like slightly longer, which I didn't think this was a big deal, but it's been dropped from like 1.05 to 0.8, which is probably going to be a big deal for those breaking point Kestrel builds.
Yeah.
Then Glimmer Shot, that damage was reduced a little bit, I think, just to help with the early clear. Kestrel was clearing her jungle very fast and then just able to get in the other side and just take you down. So splash damage was reduced across the board, and the minion splash damage was reduced across the board early game. And then active camo, they just changed something where the cooldowns, you were getting additional cooldown for auto attacking, and was it the Glimmer Shots that gave you that cooldown?
Yeah, I don't play a lot of Kestrel, so I think I totally get it.
Right. So basically, if you're weapon Kestrel, you're not going to be able to use your active camo as much, which you shouldn't be able to because
is cool.
Because you do so much damage, and if you can instantly go invisible and then reposition yourself to do more damage, it just became unfair for any good Kestrel player. I think though this attack delay thing is probably a bigger deal because it was just a bug, and this makes Kestrel just stronger. I think Kestrel is going to be an issue this patch.
It's going to move up for sure.
Then we have Finn and Lance, who basically kind of got a similar change. I kind of just want to lump them together here because together early game they just did so much damage, level 1 and 2. And both of them on their A abilities, Quibble and Impale, got reduced early game. And Finn got reduced across the whole board, but Lance's late game is a little better with his Impale, but this is good to see because you run into, like I said, a Finn and a Lance in the jungle, level 1, and one of them stuns you or slows you, you're in trouble.
Yeah, it's bad. Yeah, this should balance things out. It should be...
Do you think, like, Lance catching you out level 1, 2, it was rough, but late game, like, he just didn't seem like he did as much damage. So I wonder if this like little buff to his weapon ratio is going to help. I think they're almost positioning him more into the jungle carry role with this move when he was supposed to be roam or support.
Yeah, we'll have to see how that plays out.
Then there was Rhyme, who they just gave him a little bit more fortified health, and they fixed a bug where fortified health wasn't being generated correctly. I really didn't run into that many Rhymes, especially because we were in a meta where there was a lot of range heroes. Usually one tanky front line and then lots of range.
I seem to get Rhyme a lot in Battle Royale.
Trying to offset, that's got to be rough. Although his ultimate in Battle Royale is probably pretty useful.
Sure, yeah.
Alpha, this note says that Alpha was a little too brittle early game. I don't agree with this. Like, this seems like a weird change. Like, you basically have a free you have your free reboot level 1, so being brittle like isn't a big deal. You get to live twice, but they up the base armor and shield for Alpha, starting from level 1, and then it kind of maxes at the same. So early on, you're gonna be a little more tanky, which is kind of scary.
Yeah, I love it because I play a lot of weapon Alpha, and
Did you feel like you were too brittle early game?
No, not at all. Well, like Chunky Pretzel's like my roamer usually, and he's pretty good support. So I was always pretty confident to just go ham and have a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's kind of like the best part about Alpha.
It's like if I die, I just get to like start over again in a couple seconds.
Yeah, you can take so many risks with Alpha. It's like, let's just see. I'll be back. So I would start playing some more Alpha this update, because you could also build. I've seen like the tanky Alpha builds where you build like a little defense with your first or second buy, and then you can't be killed.
Yeah.
And then
that's also pretty trolly in Battle Royale. Stack up on like armor and shield.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah, I don't think I've ever gotten Alpha in Battle Royale. I have to try that. Then the last hero who I was starting to see a little more of here towards the end of 1.22 was Blackfeather, and I don't know why I was seeing more of him. I think he was in the free hero rotation, but I think people were just trying to revisit him a little bit. So he got a little bit of a buff because we had Broken Feather for so long. He was nerfed pretty hard.
Yeah. No, I think this is a good change. The focus recharge.
Yeah. Then his on point got a little bit more damage to weapon, and then his Rose offensive, his focus cost was down. So again, that focus recharge, like you were saying, like you're always felt like you're out of focus, which I did feel like, come on, why can't I Rose
Just one more.
So I think this is a nice change to Blackfeather, and I think he may start to creep back up a little more now, because he was already, I don't know why he was getting played more, maybe because we were seeing more Celestes and Scarfs and Kestrels, and someone like Blackfeather who wants to jump on the back line kind of makes sense. But that's it for all the hero balance changes. There was 2 item tweaks. One was to Breaking Point, and I feel like I saw a note, Brian, where you helped figure out this math for this.
It was not me. No,
it was someone else's. I believe in one of the emails I saw at some point there was someone who got credit for this change, but Breaking Point was changed, where the item, you gain 10 weapon power for every 120 weapon damage done to an enemy hero, and then it's +5 for melee, and then +10 for range now. And the damage needed to stack after, and max stacks at 25. So, and then it decays 2 stacks per second after you stop attacking. So now I almost forget what breaking point. This is just like a weird math formula for breaking point.
Yeah.
But it seems like as your ranged hero as breaking point, this seems like a nice buff. I almost want to pull up what breaking point is currently. Do you feel like this change of breaking point is worthwhile? Or like, well, let's see. Currently, breaking point. Oh, they've already updated the notes on Vainglory Fire.
Oh,
So.
did they? Wow. Sure, it sounds good.
Yeah,
Ship it.
it sounds all right. So the note from Zcant was this item was a bit too advantageous for range heroes. They were trying to maintain their stacks and gain stacks at a much steadier pace than the melee counterpart. So I think because you were ranged, you were able to just keep your stacks up a little longer, where the melees were having a hard time like sticking to them. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. All right, we'll have to watch this breaking point. Breaking point's another one of those items that just can't seem to get right because you need it. Because like if you're some of these like glaives but it's people like Kestrel and Ringo who build breaking point, like it became a problem. So it's tough. And then there was a scout trap change, which I read incorrectly at first and kind of like freaked out. But what's going to happen to scout traps is it no longer grants vision until armed. So this is not activate like when they explode, right?
Right. They'll still give vision, except not until after like the ring is formed. When you drop, so as soon as you drop a scout trap right now, you can reveal a Taka. But in 1.23, when you drop a scout trap, you have to wait for that circle to like fully form around the trap in order to be able to see Taka. So it's kind of a buff to Taka.
Right, a little bit, because if you had a contraption or scout traps, Taka, you're going to fight a Taka, you throw a scout trap down right away. And then you make sure you're going to have that vision on him. But it makes sense that it's like activating, it's arming. It doesn't do the damage until it's activated, so it probably shouldn't give you the vision. So I think it just makes sense. But yeah, I don't like Taka, so I don't like this change.
Yeah, well, I'm all about vision and scout trap. I think it's a little bit of a bummer, but I'm sure I'll get used to it.
Yeah, I was worried at first this was not going to grant any kind of vision, and that would have been, this game without vision, any MOBAs without vision would be dangerous.
For sure. Yeah, a couple of other people when in the PvEs read it the same way and were a little bit confused. So when we had that discussion, and I was like, oh yeah, some people have been reading that. So
I wonder if there's a better way to say, I don't know, because armed when the scout trap is, I think it just needs a little more explanation with it or something, or like some sort of animated GIF that shows what's happening.
GIF would be great. Fit up.
So that's the.
What did I? Oh, on Twitter I said like too long didn't read. The only change to 1.23 scout traps is they don't do anything until the ring on them is completely full.
There you go. That makes more sense.
There you go. 140 characters.
So that's all the balance changes to the heroes, to Gwen getting released, and as well as the items. There was a couple interesting gameplay changes and like new systems in here. One being the turrets now have this laser, which is probably pretty useful for new players, knowing that you're being targeted, because there was times where the turrets would you weren't sure if you were going to be hit. Sometimes when you're all grouped up together taking a turret, you don't know you're getting hit either if you're someone that's super tanky. So I think
I think this is a great change. It's something that's probably been needed for a while, and totally awesome. I think it's gonna help so many people, even not even like even older players that just still don't know exactly. Like a lot of older players don't. Well, we all push turrets, but you don't I don't know. I think it's a
Yeah.
good change. I
It'll
think it's
probably be
awesome.
really good for on the esports side, like watching the games too, so you can see
Oh,
like,
for sure.
oh,
Yeah.
they juggled that turret aggro really well because I saw it targeting Arden, then it switched to Blackfeather, and then yeah, so you had
Yeah, that's a good point too, definitely.
and then if you're playing ranked, this is kind of a big deal. They teased this or mentioned that it was going to be coming in 1.23 2. They mentioned it, but skill tier DK. So this is kind of a big deal for anyone that has a ton of accounts, lots of Smurfs, and decides to play one, leave it till the end of the season, and then move to your next account. Your accounts now, over time, will reduce in ranked. So if you're a credible threat, it may slowly slip down to tier 5. If you don't play, like if you don't play the game for a month, you may come back and find that your skill tier is not where you left it. There's no like time or thought in like how many days it's going to take yet because this is a new system. I'm sure it's going to be tweaked. You do get a warning within 4 days of experiencing DK, so you kind of like the game will let you know, hey, you need to play within 4 days. It's kind of like being in your guild. You get to see like, hey, you haven't played for 5 days. You should probably play. And that's kind of what this warning is. In 4 days, you're gonna start losing DK. I feel like this is going to have bigger DK, like the higher rank you are. So if you're Vainglorious and you're sitting in that account, you probably have to play more often, and it will fall faster if you don't play. But if you're a credible threat, it may not fall as quickly, and it's because they're less worried about people sitting on those kind of accounts.
Yeah. This is a pretty cool change, I think. I think it's been something we probably could have used for a while, and
Yeah, I know. I guess the people that play ranked, like they play, like I play a lot of rank. I usually only play rank. I know there's a lot of people who only play battle royale and aren't worried about rank. But there are a lot of people I know that just like I've seen many of pictures on Twitter where here are my 4 Vainglorious gold accounts.
oh yeah, absolutely.
And I know how long it takes to level account and play one. If you're just playing like a decent amount every day, it takes a long time. So knowing that in 4 days you have to like check your other account, and at some point, this whole point is just to make you feel like this is too much work playing all these different accounts. I'm just going to focus on my 1 or 2 accounts, depending on if you have a different region account. Do you see a lot of backlash for this happening, or you think most people are like, yeah, this is fine?
I think it's good. I haven't really seen too many people upset about it. I think most people dig it for the most part.
I guess as soon as someone comes back and sees that their account drops, that's when it will start to.
Yeah, yeah. When reality
Yeah.
sets in, that's when we'll hear all the noise. I'm sure.
This
But
kind of. Oh,
but I also think.
oh, go ahead.
Sorry,
No,
dude.
go ahead.
I think a lot of people might. Well, not a lot, but maybe some people might have to like eat their own words.
Right.
Have to face the music of where they actually fall in line in the great scale of
That's
VST.
true. Yeah. I wonder if this. Are we not going to see any kind of resets again, or new season starts because we're adding this now? Because we didn't get one with 1.22. Now we have decay, and they kind of say in this like now that rank skill tiers are no longer resetting when a new season begins. So are we never going to see a reset? Are we going to see one like once a year?
Yeah. I don't think we can sit never
Right.
say never.
Okay. At some
But
point you need to have a reset, right? Because if everyone is playing
oh
actively on all their accounts and skill tier DK doesn't do anything, and then everyone's just stuck at the highest skill tiers all the time, kind of.
yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure we'll have some more information
Yeah.
down the line.
And like most things in Vainglory, it changes and is tweaked and rechanged.
Yeah, and then we find out about it, and then they update it from there.
Anything else in 1.23? We got the skins coming. We got the 2 limited edition, special edition skins, I should say, coming. The Baywitch Celeste and Pumpkin Spice Petal should be in this update, and you'll be able to buy them with opals. No idea currently as recording this how many opals it will cost.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think Finn cost 100 opals. I would say Celeste and Petal are worth more than 100 opals if I was to rate them.
Yeah, if I had to guess on a scale of 100 to 500
Right.
opals, somewhere in that range.
So those should be cool. And then we got the Love Bites Black Feather and the new Tier 2 Adagio and the new Tier 2 Apprentice Samuel. So 2 Tier 2s. Yeah. More of this skipping tiers going on. I think we're bound to hear more of how this is going to work and if we see Tier 1 Dear Diary Lyra at some point. But
So which one are you gonna unlock first?
well, I like this. You know, the special edition skins are awesome. I think this Love Bites Black Feather is a must. Almost 2,500 ice is a lot of ice though, but you know, it's only 2,000 ice for the first 10 days. So I think all these sales are kind of smart, especially on the limited edition skins. You're kind of like, ooh, I get to save like 500 ice. I should probably grab that in the first 10 days.
Yeah, I think I'm probably gonna get that while it's. Mm-hmm. I got a couple keys.
Oh, okay. See,
sitting on some keys for the next.
Just waiting to see what's in there, maybe.
Yeah.
It is interesting though if you look at like pricing wise, the Tier 2 Samuel and Tier 2 Adagio, they are not the same price. So that kind of makes me think Adagio's skin is better than Samuel's skin if I looked at it as money wise.
Yep. Oh, it's Tier 1 Samuel, Apprentice Samuel.
Yeah, this is Tier 1. For some reason I thought it said Tier 2. I read it wrong. So yeah, Tier 1. Tier 1s are always 900 ice, so there you go.
I'll probably pick it up. Just because I'm a...
Just gotta...
And I think the Adagio I gotta unlock first.
Oh, that's who you're most excited for, you think?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to start playing.
Okay.
Adagio.
Yeah, he's pretty annoying and fun, and I think people...
Yeah.
And you can play him everywhere, so you could just main Adagio and always have a spot for him.
Sure.
So that does it for update 1.23 and episode 1.24. Brian, thanks for joining me.
Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, it's good to run down all these changes. It's always nice to bounce off the ideas where when you read them alone, you're like, oh, is that good or bad? So have someone else here is awesome. People can follow you on Twitter. It's at BrianGlory, right?
Yeah, definitely. Oh, and if there's like people in the state of New York, I have like this little Discord channel. It's VGNY _ on Twitter. VGNY _ Discord.me/VGNY.
And so that's just for the New York Vainglory players?
Yeah, like anywhere. It's like the Northeast, I guess you can kind of say it. There's some Connecticut people in there.
I don't know about that.
Well, like I guess you could say like the tri-state area of.
Awesome. So
we'll go with that.
That sounds like an awesome place to hang out and chat.
Yeah, it's picking up a little bit. So.
So yeah, I'll include a link to that, your Twitter, and then people can often find you in many of the Twitch Vainglory streamers as well. Like just check to see who's in the room, and he's probably there.
Yeah, just say hi. I'll give you a pound.
Shatter The Vain is on Twitter at Shatter The Vain, website shatterthevain.com. All the episodes are posted there. The links to the iTunes, Stitcher, YouTube version as well. And that'll do it. I'm going to dive into update 1.23 and report back on episode 125. So thanks for listening. Take care.
Let's get this over with.